Hello YouTube, my name is Graham. I would like to tell my story. I believe it can inspire. I believe it can help others, and it's something that I really feel on my heart I need to do. I would like to start off by saying I was a professing atheist. I did not believe in God. I did not believe in a Savior. I did not believe in Jesus. I am now a Christian, yay God, but with that said, I would like to tell the story of how that happened. I have some notes down here. I'm not used to having a camera. I also have limited time. I was born in Connecticut. Really, from a young age, I had ADHD. I had bipolar, and that's amongst other things. By 8 years old, I was already on a group of medications to help me adjust and not have the emotional swings that come with those things, if you don't know what they are. My parents, I had awesome parents, had an awesome sister. However, it had an awesome place to live on a lake with a big yard. By 14, 15, I was really struggling. I was struggling emotionally. I was struggling with myself. And I was more and more, especially in schoolyards and because of other kids, and also because of myself. I take my credit. I was pushing myself further away from reality. I didn't like reality. I disliked reality quite heavily. Wound up video gaming 20 hours a day at my max, and also my usual, amongst other things. It really fought everybody, and the world faded away. The world really didn't. I let it leave. My physical condition was horrible. By 14 to 16, I was character disorders, chronic lying, and automatic defiance. I found out later on that my father had, because I actually have years I cannot remember. My father took me to Yale University to see a professional. He said I could work with your son every day for 30 years and only begin to scratch the surface and make him part of a working society. We wound up, to give you a further, just go on further, 16 to 19, had no job, no car, very, very few friends. Had worn my parents down thoroughly. They were trying. They did the best job they could. And wound up, I was 6 feet tall, and I only weighed 98 pounds to 115 pounds. Very ill all the time. Last-ditch effort, my family brought me to a Job Corps. Job Corps gets you a trade, a license, a GED, and all of that in one shot. I had also dropped out of high school by this point. While I was at one weekend, in particular, while I was at Job Corps, well, first off, my father had gotten saved at this point, born again, turned Christian, whatever you want to call it. And a bunch of men had turned to him and said, "We're going to pray for your son." And he said, "You don't know who my son is." And they prayed anyways. I was, one weekend, no one was there. I was at the Job Corps. I didn't know any of this was going on. And my mind started being filled with things I'd done, things I had not confessed, pains, everything boiling to the surface, and I felt horrible. And I was alone in the room for the weekend, and a presence hit the room. And somehow I knew it was God, and I'd never opened a Bible, never given it much thought, but I knew, and I felt something placed in my heart, almost verbal, and I heard it say, "I love you, but if you don't stop, you're going to destroy yourself." And the voice was right at this point. This was the last effort. My parents were going to have to send me away. They couldn't handle me. And the verse dug deeper into me, saying, what you're doing is wrong, and you're nothing without me. You need help. And it went further and further, and I started to cry, and at this point I wasn't prone. I was very hard and angry. I didn't really show emotion, and I remember crying for hours, and I lost track of time. And I felt like hands inside of me, and I felt them pulling things out as I cried, and I felt the love of God sweeping into the place. And we've all heard about the love of God. TV evangelists do a wonderful job with it. They're a mess. This is not that. This is, I was in a dorm, no one loved me, and God came anyways. I cried myself to sleep that night, and I woke up, and I discovered, as the week went by, that I had a complete healing of the bipolar and the ADHD and defiance, and it was amazing. And I can't tell you how. I'm giving a summarization here of all of this. I can't tell you how all the things God did to deliver me from that point on, but I can tell you 7 years later, God's promise that he made to me that night, that he could fix things, and he could make me something, and he could change me. I'm not the man I was. He's dead. I don't even remember everything. I don't know why I thought the way I did. I have a wife now. I have a child, a 1-year-old. She's doing wonderful. I have a car and a license and an apartment of my own, and the bills are in my name, and I can deal with people again, and I've never been able to do that. I have friends, and God has been with me every day. His presence never left that room. That night, he was everywhere, and he still is. Any questions or comments, you can go to God's Child is Saved at yahoo.com and email them to me. And I just pray you're blessed, and I pray that this story helps you in some way. Thank you for your time, and enjoy the site, enjoy the inspirational music. Like I said, questions, comments, anything, just email them to me. Thank you.